guys, so today we're going to be putting in a thermostat into my 1988 Ford Thunderbird. I think the thermostat that's in it is a 197, which I feel like is a little bit too warm for the aluminum heads and that kind of thing. So we're going to put in a cooler one. I got a 180. To start, I'm going to pull out that plug in the bottom. We're going to get some of this coolant out of here so we can go ahead and pop that thermostat housing off. Be right back. All right, guys, so now that we got the car up in the air, nice and safely up, I'm gonna go ahead and take out this plug right here in the bottom. See it just right there, that little tab. I'm gonna pop that, let some of that coolant out, at least just lower than the thermostat. Then we can go ahead and pop that hose off and get to work. We'll go ahead and get started and remove this tab. I've actually never opened this tab before, so I don't know if it's a kind that totally unthreads or if it bleeds it out, but we are going to find out. Okay. That's gonna make a mess. Shit. All right. Also, of course, I've got the radiator cap off on the top to help kind of pull it out there. So you can see we'll let that do that for a little bit. Now let's open it up some more. Let's see what up top. Oh yeah, it's coming down good. Just still got that draining down there. We'll go a little bit more. You can kind of see it's maybe about halfway down. We're actually getting pretty close. But this is kind of your first step. I guess you could reuse the coolant. I wouldn't, but you know, whatever. Each his own. We'll let this go a couple more minutes and we'll close that valve back off, and then we'll get started on taking the thermostat out. I think we're good to go now, so I'll go ahead and seal this back off. There we go, just give that a good snug twist. I think we're golden. This is how much coolant we've taken out. All right, so not too bad. I think I actually took too much out, but it's whatever. All right, now that we're done on there, now that we're up top, we're gonna have to use a wrench on a couple bolts, and you just need a flathead screwdriver. We'll go ahead and get this thermostat housing off, and I'll show you what we got going on. We got all the hoses off now, so there is nothing, whoopsie, butterfingers. There is nothing connected to the thermostat housing now, so we're gonna go ahead and run these two 13mm bolts out, and we'll get rocking and rolling. Just like that, easy peasy lemon squeezy. You can see maybe our culprit here, slightly. That is stuck open. That is a sticking thermostat, which would cause overheating and also cause the car not to warm up. This thing's whole job is to trap coolant in the engine to keep it warm, and then when it gets hot, this will squeeze open, let it slip by into the radiator to keep it cool as well. If it's stuck open, it's not going to heat up, and then once it gets hot, it's not going to get cool. So there's that for you. So you don't need a lot, just to kind of get that little film going, like so. Then take our thermostat, make sure that little dot's to the top. We just go right on there, press it on there nice and good. Just kind of make sure it's centered as well, that won't hurt. All right, there you go. Now we can do whatever we got to do, and that is not going anywhere. All right, back here at the engine, we got our housing, got our thermostat with a little trick we learned. All right, there you go, all good. And yeah, just basically gonna do the reverse of what you did before, and we'll get this thrown on there. So let's do that right now. So thermostat housing's back on. I just slid this hose on, but I thought I'd record. Yeah, it's on there. It's all tight. It's good and sealed up. So now let's put the hoses back on, top back off with coolant, and we may have to mess with this little bleed screw to let some of the air out. So may try and burp, but we'll see what happens. But let's throw these hoses back on and let's see where we're at. All right, guys, so we had no leaks and the coolant's at the correct level. So we are gonna go ahead and take it around the block and see how cool it runs. We'll see how it does in general, so let's do that now. Pretty easy, nothing to it, but I'm gonna try and start recording more videos like this on this car. Up next, I'm probably gonna do an alternator install, 130 amp, so stay tuned for that. And until next time, I guess, be rootin', be tootin', and by God be shootin', but most of all, you must be kind. Peace.